there will be absolutely no complaint from me. Not today, not today. At the end of it all, we still come away with the 3 points. That's all we wanted. We had to get the 3 points. You bring the new manager in, he's had a day, if that, to kind of assess the squad, to think about what he wants to do and all the rest of it. And you can have very little influence in that time. But I think, from my perspective, you have to say, even in that short period, clearly Antonio Conte had a level of influence that was enough to kind of get you a little bit more excited than where we've been, for sure. So for me, I've got to say the biggest thing for me was the level of passion. I think it was massive improvement. I've called it out before, as much as Nuno Espirito Santo is probably a really nice guy, came across as a really nice guy, and really probably wanted to do really, really well, and probably did want to make us proud. But the fact that he kind of stood there like a mannequin for the whole of the games really was the biggest thing for me about him. In fact, that he didn't really get involved, he didn't seem to do anything, and that bothered me. So seeing the Conte on the sidelines from the start, giving orders, shouting out, pointing, getting excited, looking as if he was playing the game himself, filled me with a little level of joy that I hadn't seen for so long, in this team. And that, to be fair, I feel was transposed in the pattern of play. Certainly from the kickoff, you could see a huge amount of effort straight away going into the game. And it may not have all come off straight away, but you could see players actually going into tackles and really driving forward. I was a little bit surprised about Davis still being in the team, considering what a shocker he had against United. But then playing as part of a back five as opposed to a back four. He's played there for Wales. He's been effective there for Wales. Kind of thought, well, okay, let's see where he goes from here. But for me, it gave the freedom for the fullbacks to really push on. And I felt for the first time this season, they really did attack. They really was pushing forward. Reguilon seemed like a man possessed running forward. Still think he needs to improve his final ball. But good to see him in at that end of the pitch, really kind of pushing forward. Emerson, for me, is going from strength to strength. Really kind of charging forward, putting in an awful lot more crosses and so on. So again, I felt he had a good game. The movement amongst the front three was fantastic at times. I thought it was really cool to see, and to see Son score, then Lucas score, and Harry kind of okay, it was an own goal, but it wouldn't have been an own goal if Harry wasn't there, right? So forcing that in. And to be fair, he did get the assist for the Lucas goal, dropping that little bit deeper and picking out a great ball, great timed run by Lucas, and coolly taken. And at that point, we were in absolute control of the game. And I thought, wow, this really is, a big turnaround. Shows what happens when you put your bigger players into this sort of game, which we had to do because we need the points, right? So it made absolute sense that we did that. But then all of a sudden, the momentum drops. Mora makes a mistake. Oh no, it was the second goal. I'll tell a lie. So for the first goal, again, header, easy header. Dyer, needed to be stronger in that, needed to jump. needed to really push it, and you're back to 3-1. Okay, you kind of. I think from that point we slip back slightly, and I think that's when things start to drop. People's heads start to drop. Like, here we go. What's going to happen now? We've started so well, but blah blah blah. Mora makes a mistake, and then we are. We're back at 3-2, and you're heading for a really edgy game. So really, that's the bits that you really need Conte to get hold of. I mean, the fact that we're showing some passion and drive in the game says to me that was always there, and it must have been constrained, it must have been held back, or the players just weren't interested in playing for someone without the credibility, say, to enthuse them to do it. It's got to be one or the other. Either it was there and it was constrained, or it was there and they didn't want to. So it's got to be one or the other, right? So now seeing that the passion is there and the drive is there, and the fact that the front three can work very well together, and you can get your wing backs pushing on, says to me the biggest thing he's got to work out is how are you going to get the defence right and stop these stupid mistakes, because that's where what's leading us, right? Silly mistakes, and then we're back to 3-2. When we went down to 10 men, I thought, oh my God, here we go. This is it. We are really gonna get, battered in the end. We're going to end up losing this bloody 4-3 or something ridiculous after a great opening sort of 30 minutes or so. But fair play. We hung on. We kept going. They get their player sent off, and it's back to level playing fields. And then you think, well, we've got an opportunity here to keep going. Hugo was immense for me. Thought he had a brilliant game. He pulled off some really good saves, and that really kept us in it, I suppose, to a certain extent. But that's what he's there for. So I'm not gonna knock everybody else down for the fact that Hugo had to have a good game. So overall I'm pleased. Like I say, I'm not moaning. I'm just pointing out where I think it was and where I thought the game went. I thought overall we deserved the victory. We played well enough to get the victory, and it was and it's nice to get back into winning ways. Builds nicely for the weekend when we go away to Everton. And I don't think an awful lot will change in terms of setup and players. I think we need to have some kind of creativity in there somewhere along the line. It's just who that's going to be. But yeah, he made a few substitutions to see what these other guys have got, and with a little bit more composure, Lo Celso could have saved us an awful lot of worry towards the end. If he'd have just placed that ball rather than trying to hit it straight at the goalkeeper as it turned out. So you can't complain. We got the 3 points. That's what we wanted. Conte has brought a massive lift to the club. You can see it. The ground had far more fans in it than it would have had if Nuno had been there, because at that point everyone had kind of given up. So it's given a massive lift to everybody. Looks like it's given a lift to the players, and this is without even really doing anything. So it'll just be interesting now to see what's going to happen next. How are things going to progress? Are we going to get any stability? Are we going to end up buying new players and that kind of stuff and build from there? What's his Antonio Conte's view going to be as time goes on? Let's be honest, on paper, as much as we call it out as fans and say this one's no good, that one's no good, on paper this ain't a bad squad. This ain't a terrible squad. You've got some highly rated youngsters and you've got some seasoned professionals in there that are coming up to the top of their game. So you've got to think to yourself, if we could just get the right combination, just that one missing key maybe, another top central defender possibly, someone really creative in midfield, unless you can get that out of Ndombele or out of Lo Celso, or you get Dele back to some kind of, ability. That's going to be the key now, is getting those missing links in that are really going to make sure that we go to the next level. But of course, this is the shot in the arm that gives us a little bit more belief. Come the weekend, if we get stuffed 6-0 by Everton and go on a losing streak, then it'll all be changed. But to be honest with you, I really do not know where Daniel Levy goes from here. If it doesn't work with Antonio Conte, I don't know when it's ever going to work. I don't know who else you get. I don't know where you go from here. And to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure Daniel Levy don't know where he's going to go from here. Last roll of the dice. Up the Spurs.